Okay.
I care.
Okay.
Does it look like I care? Does
Yes.
I
I can strongly say yes.
Can you feel the attitude in my voice? Slapping across your face. Okay, why isn't anyone interrupting me or telling me to shut up?
Because
we're waiting for you to peter out so we can play the goddamn game.
Don't wait for me to peter out. I'm not in the petering out kind of mood. You gotta just tell me to shut up.
Shut up, Kriana.
Thank you.
Oh, Grimmett, that's so hurtful.
I don't give a fuck. I didn't clear my time out of my schedule to listen to you blather.
Blather.
Good choice of words.
I love how the stream just started with that. It literally just started with...
Inferno is gone. I think he accidentally closed shit.
Oh, no.
You've insulted him so much. You hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
He sometimes gets confused on who he is. He sometimes thinks he's Kriana. So
No, I
really
accidentally
upset.
pressed the refresh key, and then when I hastily tried to press the no camera button, I clicked the hang up button. I'm stupid. Let's play, please.
No.
You want to play?
Yes. Okay. So, when last we left, you guys were preparing to head out. You had chosen to go to Falcon Keep to attempt to use the daggers to get disguises for yourself.
And our premier disguise will be the demon prince or the demon lieutenant, who has, for all we know, is unkillable. This is. I regret us making this decision.
Actually, after the discussion, we decided to go around Aberton and take that angle, actually.
Actually, we could. No. We should stick with what we said we were going to do, so we don't give Squeal.
Aberton?
Yes, the southwestern portion of the Freelands.
Yeah, I can see
You know,
this.
for no reason whatsoever other than
So just going
track.
around.
They won't expect it.
We're getting on a boat.
No one will expect the Wishstone bearers to fucking approach from that angle.
I should point out because I didn't last session, but you would have been explained at some point by Jarek's favorite person, Theoden.
I can actually explain this myself because I rolled a 20 if it's pertaining to using daggers.
Yes, Jarek actually could have explained this to everyone. The daggers themselves, while they are magical, they count as just normal weapons. If you make an attack with a dagger, it is a die class of D4s, unless, of course, you have special abilities or whatnot with daggers themselves. So, like, if you have a class that can use daggers at a higher level, then you can. Everyone else, the damage class is D4.
Cool.
In order for the magic enchantment to take effect, you must land a killing blow with the dagger, and then stab yourself in the arm with the other one.
The arm, you say.
And break
You
And
said
break
it
it
doesn't
off.
have to technically be the arm.
Yes, technically it can be any. Just stab yourself somewhere in the body and break off the tip.
Just right in the eye.
Ha! Get that,
Okay.
sucker!
Never see that coming. I will say, coup de grace do count. Everyone knows what a coup de grace is. If the creature is helpless, etc., that's fine. That counts.
Cool.
And you've only got one chance. Once you break the tip off in your arm, you cannot then go hunting other demons to become them.
Okay.
How long is the string between the two daggers?
About 4 feet.
Cool.
You're gonna sneak up behind a bitch and strangle him, aren't you?
Yep.
Shh, don't tell him.
Shit, I'm sorry.
Kip, did you want those gauntlets?
I have gauntlets, but that hat looks mighty fine.
Oh, go for it.
Oh,
I was
sweet.
going, I don't think Piff's gonna give up his random gauntlets.
Well, I
No.
thought the gauntlet, it was random bracers, not gauntlets.
It's the same thing. You can't wear both.
Oh, you can.
No,
Okay.
bracers count as gauntlets. Yeah.
Okay. Then the gloves of archery will go back to their owner, which will be Lady Celine.
She's gonna sport them like there's no tomorrow.
We don't care. We don't care about the Somerset Isle fucking fashion edition.
I mean, I'm more of a ruler than she is right now, so she can wear
It's
whatever
true. You
she
have an
wants.
actual kingdom.
I have an actual
Aw.
kingdom.
That's my home. I made myself feel sad.
You can always move into my place. Shade your
No. Well, kids will have someone to play with.
You don't have to worry about keeping me up at night. I don't sleep.
No, there you go. All right.
And what's one more kid, right?
Yeah, and if I live, we'll talk about it.
I'll be the only survivor, and I'll just raise your children too.
Raise as in be a father to them, or raise them from the dead?
Yes.
No. All right.
So,
Digressing.
okay. Everyone has been shopping. Is there any items that aren't on that list that you would like to ask about?
Mm-mm.
Alright.
Well, for me, it's a
I think I'm good.
Okay. Alright. Then, before we get into how exactly you guys want to go about doing this, are there any role plays between characters or NPCs anyone would like to do before you head out? And this can be any time within the 2 days that you guys had to wait.
I think I did all my 2-day role playing last session, to be honest.
I know this is the appropriate time to talk about that one we were talking about for a while now, but I think I'm gonna skip it.
Okay. Then we can just narratively handle it if you'd like, or we can just leave it to your imagination only.
We'll narratively handle it.
Okay.
The night before the group was planning on going out and adventuring to Falcon Keep, Keen, Kip, and Olivia were outside having dinner beneath the stars, kind of having a little picnic that Keen cooked for them. And Keen brought up the thought of the fact that he did not want them to join the rest of the group in Whitebridge. And both of them basically got very indignant, wouldn't take no for an answer, and eventually words were exchanged. There was a bit of a fight, but they resolved it. So Olivia and Kip will be at Whitebridge when we use the orb.
So you made them dinner for nothing.
Well, maybe.
Ungrateful.
Translation is Keen lost that fight.
Oh yeah, he lost that fight so hard.
Okay.
All right. As far as who you guys actually want to transport into the city, if and when you take down both towers, can certainly be handled out of session or at a later time. You've got a lot to do in between now and then, so.
Oh, right. I remember the last session when, like, 4 fucking weeks ago, I said, I have ideas I'll mention to you before next session. You mentioned it like, oh, I guess that was a thing.
But I can promise you guys, you're not taking both those towers down this session. Well, no, wait.
Well, you
That's
don't know
bad,
that.
bad
That
GM,
sounds
bad
like a
GM.
challenge.
Yeah, bad GM. I know there's the second.
Alright, guys.
I
Even you
don't-
Alright.
Let's fucking hunker down.
Like,
The worst thing you can do to this group is give us. You know, you
Alright,
can't do this.
we're gonna need to get some magic C4 up in here.
it's like, all right, everyone, run to Right Bridge, stab a demon on the way. Let's go.
I got 3,000 vials of slipperiness.
Hi.
No, you have 5.
Here's the rails. Guys, let's get back on the rails.
Okay, so, then, the night that you guys are headed out, you will all gather together and in the courtyards, and you will notice that Sky joins you, and Sky is dressed in very well fitted and very well maintained and taken care of half plate armor. And she does not. It's strange because she looks the same as she did when you first met her, but the way she carries herself is much more akin to a warrior than a scared little girl. It's almost as if it's a completely different transformation. And when you all gather together, she goes, "Okay, so how do we want to do this?"
The idea is to, we're gonna try to impersonate higher up demons to give us a little bit more pull, some more flexibility and authority once we reach Whitebridge. We have it on good authority that Falcon Keep houses one of these lieutenants, so we're gonna find him and his posse, kill him, and take their forms.
She nods. She goes, "I understand that part. I was more asking, how do we intend to do this?"
Oh, I have no fucking clue.
What do you mean we for? Unless you plan on stabbing yourself too, I don't recall you getting a set of daggers.
As a matter of fact, and she holds up a set of daggers. I do.
Jarek snorts and looks over at Pearson. Nope, absolving himself of this problem.
Pearson will stand by his decision. Because if he's anything, he's stubborn. All right.
She even raises an eyebrow and she says, "If anyone sees a demon with wings, let me know."
Okay.
Ooh, that is a good consideration.
And,
should probably look for one as well.
After that, she clears her throat. Oh, sorry, were you going to say something, Inferno?
No, it's okay.
After that, she clears her throat and she says, "I guess more to the point, I should ask, how do we plan on getting into Falcon Keep? We don't have very much information, but we do know that traveling underground is dangerous. Many of the settlements in the Freelands have had magical barriers erected. The gnomes were a little too effective, and the demons eventually found ways to keep track of their movements. Further away is fine, and I can't be certain that Falcon Keep even has one."
Jarek, without blinking an eye, says,
Oh, I planned on approaching the front gate of the castle, taking flight, drinking a potion of invisibility, and opening the gate from within.
You know, that sounds like a good idea, actually.
It could work, actually. The important thing is that if we don't have a whole lot of intelligence on this, then we best go to the place ourselves over land and scout it out ourselves and find an opportunity.
Is everyone in agreement with that?
Yeah.
Jarek
Yes.
more said that to fucking just look at Sky like, the fuck you got?
Oh boy.
No,
Sky
I'm
just
actually
looks-
in agreement with this.
Sky just returns Jarek's gaze calmly and nods. That is a logical plan.
Great. Never been called logical before. Been called a lot of other things, but hey, I'll take it. All right, well, we're not getting any younger.
Excuse me.
That's why you've never been called logical before.
Thanks, Jarek.
Oh, out of character, I just want to point this out because this is slightly important to Pearson. Those doe shoes
Can make me
allow
run
you
as
to-
fast as a horse. Yes, I know. I don't
Yeah.
have to get the type of any sort of pony ever again. It's the best thing.
Just gallop.
Very nice. Okay, so with that, with very little ceremony, as everyone is preparing for a massive battle, you guys exit the Sunset Tower and begin trekking through the Alonsi Forest. I'm not going to make a roll for this. Cole is able to lead you guys through the Alonsi Forest with ease. He grew up there, so I don't think that it's something he could do with the back of his hand. As you travel through the Alonsi Forest, you don't see very much in the way of commotion or movement or creatures. However, after the day it takes you to... Actually, hang on, I'm sorry. Give me a second. Let me look at my scales here. Before we do this, let me bring something up as a GM, because I don't want to be amiss, and this is information that you guys might find important. This is 100 miles. This is just over 100 miles.
Okay.
That's
Well, everyone knows that I would walk 100 miles, and I would walk 100 more just to be the man who walked 100 miles.
And you were the one telling us not to get distracted.
Sorry! I'm sorry!
I would say a group such as yours, even moving at a very quick pace, you're looking at about 50 miles a day over land, and that's at a quick pace. So it'll take 4 days to get to Falcon Keep over land, barring anything that would slow you down.
Okay, 4 days. Good to know.
That's actually a lot faster than it took to get to Coalhaven and back.
Well, when you went to Coalhaven, you weren't rushing. When I say quickly, I mean you guys are, I'm assuming, breakneck pace.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
Making sure to stop when appropriate, not so that we don't kill our horses. Although
Exactly.
Heinrich doesn't have to really worry about that.
Excuse me?
But you can just resurrect him back. Or just raise him.
Oh, I'm sorry. You must have mistaken me for the person who could resurrect things like the Lich King.
Sorry. This was out of character though, but okay.
Well, gotta be careful.
Jarrett breaks the
Yeah, I
fourth
have to be
wall.
careful. Jared breaks the fourth wall. Well, fuck.
That was
Yeah,
actually what I took with my one incremental advance, so,
Mhm.
Oh shit.
So I have a role-playing question for you, Squee.
Mm-hmm.
I just need a bit of a refresher, right, as far as the disease goes, because we have I have about a month until you reach the terminal phase, right, where you like turn into that monster thing and pretty much you're gone, right?
Correct.
So it's been about a week with the 3 days and the 4 days of travel. So about a quarter of the way into it, we're looking at probably like pale flesh, maybe a bit of a fever, a bit of a cough, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're starting to look a bit ill. Your skin looks clammy a lot. Exactly.
Okay.
So what you're telling me is that even though Jarek hasn't been examined or taken any of these drugs, he looks literally the same.
Yes. He looks literally the
Good to know. Thanks.
Oh god, I'm becoming Jarek. This disease is awful. All right.
You exit the Alonisi Forest after about 3 days of hard travel. And when you exit the Alonisi Forest, you run right into the armies preparing to take to the field. You come right almost in between these two armies right here, which is the red is the dwarf and the peach one is the elven army. And you kind of come out where the two armies are mingling and communicating with each other, and it is a mass of activity. You see two armies preparing to fight a massive battle. Armor's being shined, people are training, people are preparing, wizards are chanting incantations. It is, even from several miles away, you can hear the hustle and bustle of the army. When you get past the army, assuming no one, okay, I should ask, does anyone have any plans on stopping or talking or doing anything?
No, I think I'm gonna leave these people be.
Okay. You would, of course, be stopped by perimeter guards and asked your business.
The fucking world.
I mean, if they are so stupid as to do that, sure. Pearson,
Yeah,
you can tell them our business.
Well,
Okay.
not everyone knows what you look like yet.
That has got to be a foolish statement. These are the people that are being relied upon to deal with demons. I just want everyone to know that.
Oh no, I understand. So you would be stopped by the perimeter guards as you approach the armies and asked your business.
Your
Pearson,
business.
Pearson will give a cough and he'll look at the man and he says, "Our business is of utmost importance. We can't really go into the details of why we're here because of the secrecy of it all, but let's just say we're Lady Celine's champions and leave it at that.
The two guards look at each other and look back to you, and then the one that stops you says, "Do you have any evidence to such a substantial claim?"
Yeah, Keen, I am show him who you are.
Okay. And then, almost in an instant, two brilliantly blue wings will sprout from his back.
The guard will look at the wings, his eyes will widen, and then he will narrow his eyes, and then he'll look back to Pearson and he'll say, "Impressive.
Mm-hmm.
Your point?"
Well, I'm Pearson the Bone Splitter Cullimore, and to prove who I am would be really painful for you.
The other soldier goes, "Pearson Cullimore? That man's 8 feet tall. You look nothing like him. I heard he was a huge man."
These are clearly demonic spies, Pearson. They are wasting our time.
8 feet tall or no. Actually, sorry, let me go out of character here for a moment. Squee, we don't have that pass from Lady Celine anymore, did we? Did we cash that in? No, our meal ticket.
Last I remember, the meal ticket was with Sky. I don't know if she still has it. Yeah.
Yes, you can certainly ask.
Pearson will give a sigh at the rumors about being 8 feet tall, and he says, "Never believe everything that you hear. There are a lot of stories out there." Sky, do you still have that letter of correspondence from Lady Celine on you that we gave you a long while back?
You see Sky with almost a smirk, and she pulls out the note and she hands it to the guard, and then she looks at Pearson with mirth and says, "Important business," and leave it at that.
Yeah. I mean, who knows who these guys are? Jarek is right, they could be spies.
She grins even wider. "You don't deal with the military much, do you?"
No. Pearson will say with the flattest expression possible, considering he had nothing to do with the military growing up, and he fled and was the antagonist of the City Watch. No, he doesn't know the fucking military. Sky? God damn it.
In short order, the soldier, after reading it, snaps a salute to Pearson and says, "My apologies, sir. I am obliged to offer you an escort through the army lines, and unfortunately we cannot go with you beyond that point."
That's fine. We don't need you to come with us. I'm sure you have more important things to do. Alright, let's be off. World needs saving.
And as you go, the soldier calls after you, or before you go, he says, "When you pass through enemy lines, I would suggest staying close to the river. The enemy is massing against us." And
Pearson will give a smirk, and he says, "Well, it's a good thing I'm not 8 feet tall then, or they'd spot us."
As you say, sir.
Yeah.
Riding the horse.
Wow, they're massing. I can't believe the demons are gathering. That's amazing. These perimeter guards. Their logical deduction skills are legendary.
They probably don't get paid all that much, and, I mean, they're probably scared shitless.
Guards do better over in Coalhaven.
Yes, I'm sure. When this world is saved, Cullhaven will be a beacon, as something to look up to restructure the free lands, I'm sure. That is, of course, how you don't invade us.
Hmm.
Don't give him ideas.
Uh-huh. Well,
Jarek like taps like his chin thoughtfully.
Although, not that I care. I'll probably be spending next few years in Windfall Isle somewhere.
Were those the same gods that would, be murdered on sight if they let anyone through and we got in?
What are you talking about, Cole?
Back
The ones in
in
Coalhaven.
Ironhall, was it?
Jarek shrugs.
I don't keep track of the individual details. I just knew that they actually recognized me, which is to their health.
Cole nodded that.
So we go along the river as suggested. Oh no, unless they're escorting us through the camp. Sorry, I didn't want to get ahead of ourselves.
Escorting us.
No, they would escort you through the camp. And as I said before, you would see a lot of nervous faces. The dwarves, either they're less nervous or they hide it better. But even them, you can tell they're quieter. You don't hear a lot of boisterous yelling and guffawing. The elves are a mix of young soldiers. That's one thing you do notice. A lot of the soldiers in this army, dwarven and elven, look very young. And the general atmosphere that you feel as you travel through the military is one of nervous anticipation. And when you get to the front of the enemy lines and you look down across the field about 3 miles to the south, you start to see why. When the guard said that the demons were amassing, he was, like Jarek said, displaying remarkable deductive powers. You see dark masses in the distance where they're too far away for you to tell individual detail, but you do see what looks to be a mass of people-like beings dotted with very large beings every few hundred feet or so. And it looks like a very sizable force.
Hey, Sky, I see several flyers. Those might be some imps.
Sky nods. I thought the object, though, was to avoid the main fight.
Mm-hmm.
Sure is. You said to let you know.
But if there are those imp things flying around by the front lines, then there might be some in the back lines where we need to be.
I'm sure they won't recognize us either.
By the time they do, we'll probably murder them. We'll see.
I mean, I don't know. I can't fly. Oh, no, sure.
Just like old times. Pearson says.
Well, you can see the dark masses. There is a break where the river is, as we said. The armies don't go up to the banks. They stop about a few hundred yards on either direction of the river. And so, yeah, so basically you see an almost unbroken line of demons with the exception of a few hundred meters to either side of the riverbank.
Alright, so what's the river look like? Is it fast moving? Is it wide? Does it appear very deep? What's the deal with the river?
It is a medium-sized river. The current is not incredibly fast. You could swim across it without too much danger. Excuse me, from the color of the water, it looks like it is fairly deep, at least 10 feet or more. And the current is moderately swift. It is what would be considered a gentle river.
Okay.
And the river itself is about 100 feet across.
Okay. Other than the lines of what appears to be demons, there doesn't appear to be any sort of shield or anything like that blocking the way, or is there a shield? And I just have not been paying attention.
No, nothing that you can
Like
see.
a bad me. Okay. I would be... We could try to swim the river, do what we did back in the cave with the fucking kobolds and that spellcaster. Dip it underneath the water and come out the other end, but it'd be crazy to assume that the demons aren't keeping an eye on this entire flank of theirs. Do you have any ideas? Can we see Falcon Keep from here? Or no, is it just kind of more mountainy?
Yeah, no, you can. You can see the mountain range where Falcon Keep is. It is an oddity in this section of the world, where most of this area is grasslands with dotted trees and bushes. You do see a small collection of mountain spires that mark where Falcon Keep is.
Approximately how far away is that?
Well, right now, I'll show you guys. You're about right here, and so 3.8 feet. So you're looking at about just over 30 miles.
Okay, so we just have to get past this front line then.
That's one hell of a horizon.
Yeah.
That's quite the mountain outcropping.
Oh yeah.
Well, it should be pointed out too that the land gently slopes downwards all the way to the sea, so you're looking at a gentle downward slope and mountains rising upwards.
Okay. So the waterway is flowing out of the Atlantis forest and into like that lake there that's like to the west of the Falcon King?
Correct. In fact, let me go ahead and remove some of these drawings for you guys so you can see a little bit better. There you go.
Okay.
It actually the river itself and you could know this from maps or from anyone who would have briefed you on it. The river itself actually goes underground for a brief period before coming up into the lake.
Hold up a second. You said the demons kind of go up to the riverbank, right? But they stop a few hundred feet away from the riverbank?
Yeah, a few hundred feet away on either side.
On either side, okay. So they do continue on the other side. How long does it appear that that line is?
Oh, the line that you see is pretty much as far as the eye can see, this direction and that direction. Now, there are breaks in it. It's not an unbroken line, but there aren't very large breaks. It is a solid defensive front.
They can't have that around the entirety of the free land.
No. So that's our option. We either go further down west or east and try to find one of these breaks and scoot through it, preferably at night, or we try to swim through the river. The only problem is that we shouldn't swim atop the river or we'll be easily spotted, which means we need to swim under the weather.
Jarek, it's sort of like also, I'm like hearing like feedback from like the entire Google like Hangout call through someone's like speakers. Like I can hear myself and stuff. I just wanted to throw that out. Like I've been able to hear like Squee and like Inferno too.
Oh.
I have myself muted.
Yeah, if you could hear me, then it couldn't be me.
Yeah, I'll try muting myself.
Yeah, thank you. They're just noting the echo. At any rate, Jarek sort of like guffaws and says, "Well, that's easy. I can easily just throw myself down to the bottom of this river and it'll carry me out into the lake, away from the demonic lines. But
And
hold your
what about
breath.
the rest of us?
You just keep your heads down and let the river guide you.
It's
I
pretty
mean-
slow moving.
Get wet or I'm gonna die anyway. Well,
Yeah.
those of us who can die.
Yeah. I guess swimming the river's our only real bet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Don't think I know a ritual to make the current move faster.
Jarek like taps his head, like examining his mental Rolodex of death spells. Like, no, I can't really think of a ritual to make the river move faster.
No, we'll just have to swim it. Good thing I grew up in Whitebridge, or if I was a landlocked peasant, I'd be pretty fucked.
Think of it like Windfall Isle. Remember when we built the raft and then went across the river there and then like this sea creature appeared?
Hold up a second.
What?
That gives me an idea.
Oh dear.
I remember there, you're doing what you proposed right now, right? which is go at the bottom of the river because you don't need air, right? But what if we could breathe the air, be at the bottom of the river with you, like we had some sort of tube or device or, you know, reed or something like that to breathe out of.
He shrugs. I don't know how deep this is. Had I been thinking ahead, I could have prepared maybe I could have prepared something, but I wasn't thinking about it. Typically, breathing is not a problem I concern myself with.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to ask the GM when he comes back.
We will. And we shall, Piffykins. We shall.
And we shall. So, I took everyone's advice to stream at a lower bit rate and stuff like that, my stable one, and I said F that, and I've been doing pretty well so far.
Oh, good. Thank you for ignoring us. But hey, no, it'll allow people to read the text a whole lot easier.
Yeah.
Should have killed those perimeter guards.
Those piranha.
I was so
Why? What would that have gained us, Grimmith? That would have gained us nothing.
That would have gained us eliminating stupid people.
We are not Darwin. We are not walking, talking natural selection.
Literally, like, how could they not recognize our eclectic outfits? And then one of them is even sassy enough to say, "Your point."
No. That was foolish.
Then he just fucking like flies off in the air, gives them all the middle finger, and just flies over the entire army.
That's why I had the old, I'm the bone splitter. I could break your fucking arm if you want me to prove it to you.
I don't think you know who we are.
My character could have proved it.
was.
Turns out that they're like two of the most powerful people in the entire world. They're like epic tier threats, just completely crush us.
To their benefit though, it's not like they have television or radio out here, right? They have just fucking bards, and the bards aren't going to be like, and this is how they exactly look like. Do.
Pearson's got a shirt. It is slightly open, and he's kind of hairy.
Well, they should have continued the trend then. Your point? This could easily be a forgery. It's like they
Yeah.
wrap it up.
All right, Squee, we have a question for you.
Okay.
Whoa, jeez!
Loud, angry Squee.
First question: what happened to your microphone?
Got angry.
My dear Piff, you know exactly what happened to my microphone.
Those sound levels were off the charts.
I have to remember that when I walk away and come back, I need to check it, not just when I start the call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're good now, Grimmith. You're fine. It's okay.
Also, I may have sent you a Skype message. 'cause
I know.
screwed up so hard.
Unfortunately, Burn,
Yeah.
because of the situation you're in,
I'm just
can't
gonna
allow
change
that.
it to 3 sleep. That's fine.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Remember our one rule of
I know.
I'm willing to believe.
He wanted to get potion of water breathing, but he didn't.
Yeah, I
so
know.
well. No,
Well,
we don't
I
have
marked
it.
it as 300 because I thought that's what it was. Potion of water breathing, and I wasn't thinking.
Doesn't matter. We'll figure
Yeah, I
this
know.
out. Anyways, we're wondering if it's possible to fashion some sort of tube or reed. Like, how deep do we think does it appear that the river is?
Like I said, the color of the river shows that the middle of it, you're thinking at least 10 feet deep, and then of
Okay,
course the
okay.
sides get shallower and shallower.
10 feet isn't so bad, actually. So, would we be able to fashion some sort of tube or reed or something from the surrounding vegetation?
Yes, you would. The river itself has several water plants in the softer kind of ebbs and flows of the river itself. The stiller parts of the water grow many things like lily pads and dandelions, and also these tube-like grass implements that you could use to fit the purpose. Absolutely. The one thing you would have to be careful of is that the water is not crystal clear by any means. It is carrying the sediment of the forest, but the shallower parts of the river are transparent enough that it would be easy to see something passing underneath. The deeper parts, not so much, but
Okay.
so yeah, it's moderately clear.
So this is my suggestion, and some of it will require some in character help from people who know nature and shit like that. But the general idea is this: we put weights or rocks on our shoes. We go to the deeper part. We use the reeds as breathing apparatuses, and Jarek leads us at the deepest part of the river. He leads us to where we need to go. What? What?
Though I may walk through the valley of the shadow of the river, I fear no evil, for Jarek is leading me.
Yep.
I
Yep.
have a question that might be appropriate. What are we going to do with our horses, including Heinrich?
Heinrich knows him to go.
We
Okay.
leave them.
We just leave them? Okay.
We have to.
What about Baby Junior?
Oh shit.
That can be your weight.
Oh.
Have fun with that.
Oh.
Does anyone have a single potion of water breathing for Baby Junior?
This is why I screwed up so hard.
Well, that's not a solution.
I know.
Well, I mean, not just you. Anyone else, perhaps including someone who donated all of his money to his beloved.
Yeah, exactly. See,
Yeah.
I'm just as culpable.
As for me, I mean, like, breathing just isn't a problem for my character. Like, ugh.
All right, then you know what? Because the horses would slow us down. We don't have a ton of time. I mean, but as demons, we can't ride horses anyway, right? But the Baby Junior problem is a problem. Because it's
Yeah.
hard to fashion her. Like, we can't create a special muzzle. Would they? You know what? Baby Junior's a wolf, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think the demons are gonna care about some random fucking animal?
They might try to capture and eat it. Demons have to eat too.
Yeah.
If it matters, I should point out Baby Junior does have the ability to doggy paddle.
Yeah, well, doggy paddle also does paddling things, so unless it's covert ninja doggy paddle,
I am simply letting everyone aware.
Yeah,
of
we know
all
it can
of
swim. Most animals, with the exception of stupid fucking orangutans and apes, can swim naturally.
While I agree,
And us.
this is Baby Junior, so
Well,
I
well,
thought I'd make it abundantly clear.
Jarek can't swim. Jarek walks.
You're an ape. You're an undead ape.
We're
Alright.
talking about the lovable puppy that will walk up to an enemy and roll over for belly tap pats. So I just wanted to make sure we're all clear.
Coup de
Alright.
grace.
Anyways, so our options is to do the undercover water thing, and have Baby Junior swim or run along the banks aside, hoping that if it is noticed that the demons have like a war to worry about and not just some random fucking wolf.
I got an
Or-
idea.
Okay, what's your idea?
If we can find a hollow deadwood, we can actually have it drift with us.
Oh, smart! Like half of a fucking tree or something that's all hollowed out and shit, so it looks like just some stupid tree log floating down the river.
Damn, I was hoping that you'd throw BJ over the demonic armies.
No, that could work. That could work just fine.
I knew it. No damage.
I object.
It's like Cole as a trebuchet.
No, I mean with the log idea, not the trebuchet idea.
Oh, okay, cool.
I was thinking to like wrist mounting the dog and launching it off, freaking Final Fantasy VIII style.
Oh my god! Let's talk about actual solutions. You know, if we find a hollow enough log, we all, with the exception of Derek, can just swim underneath of it. Why don't we chop down a fucking tree and hollow it out?
How long will that take?
I don't know.
A while.
You see the muscles on these kids? I mean, they already have to have like trees like removed anyway for like the whole battle prospect of all the massive camps that they've made. Just
Yeah,
take
we have
Yeah.
soldiers. Make the soldiers do it.
Or we can requisition a log from the goddamn army.
If anyone fights, who tries to fight us about it, I make them kneel, and then we move on with our
God,
various
you
business.
just want to beat up soldiers.
Jarek has no patience for norms. Like,
Oh,
You
no.
understand?
Well, we know.
Like, he is the ruler of an entire kingdom. This is what happens whenever Jarek is the ruler of an entire kingdom.
I see.
You brought this upon yourselves.
Yeah. Okay, so... Alright, so we have 3 plans then. We have the water reed idea with Baby Junior exposed. We have get a log and hollow it out, and we do it like a reverse canoe down the river. Or 3, we go down either flank and try to find an above land way to broach through the line. What are we going for? I kind of like the hollowed out idea. Hollowed out reverse canoe idea.
I like the second idea more, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
You know, if you kids do find a big enough log and you all get spotted, well, now Jarek
There's
doesn't
something
even
to
have
shield the arrows.
Cole is the only one who has a stone. I fucking slid mine over so like to help your kid. You know, in the event that we all fail. So yeah, Cole's the only one with the stone. Well,
Okay. So how about this? So we don't put the cart before the horse. Pearson will make an inquiry to see if there's some available timber, more particularly hoping for a full, trunk of a tree that's been felled recently by these soldiers.
You can ask your escort, of course. I'm assuming that would be who you would be asking.
Yes.
And he would say, he'd look at Pearson, and he would say, Sir, we're wood elves. We could carve you a boat out of it if you needed.
Boat would be too obvious.
Right, I'm sorry, sir. Sarcasm is a weakness of mine. Yes,
Yeah.
we could certainly...
It is. Pearson says as he blinks at him.
He says
Continue.
it would take some time, but we could, of course, hollow out a trunk for you, yes.
All right. Well, then you best get to it.
He nods and he says, it might also be wise to speak to the mages in the area. They have... Well, I'm not exactly sure what they've done, but they filled the river with monsters of a different kind to keep the demons from getting too close.
Of course they did. All right, where are these mages?
That way, sir. He points to a collection of very colorful tents.
Pearson will sarcastically point to the
Jarek looks
tents.
at all the colors and he says, "Oh, of course."
You hear Cole grumble,
course.
spellcasters.
You know I'm one of those, right, Cole?
You're different.
Aren't you one of those, Cole?
I'm different.
I'm one of those.
Am I
Technically.
different, Cole?
He looks over, looks you up and down. Yes.
Jarek will accept that at face value.
So, Squee, I reckon we head to visit with these mages. They're colorful tents.
Okay. You walk into the area of the colorful tents, and you see a collection of different aged people, all the way from old wizened men to young squires, male and female, running around with scrolls and notes, and you see like one squire following a master, sir, you didn't finish casting this, and you see like another one running around going, has anyone seen my wand? Nobody move.
We're doomed.
His wand might go off at any moment.
Pearson will look to Cole. Pearson will look to Jarek, and he'll say, "These are more your people than mine."
Jarek looks over at Cole and then lifts a finger and puts it on his nose.
You've missed your nostril. Cole will move forward without anything else and start. He'll go and grab the first small moving mage that's going around the camp by its robe.
I guess. Sorry, my girl keeps taunting me with empty chocolate bars.
The chocolate bars that are empty?
Literally,
That's-
she gives
that's
me
She's
a
like,
box.
she's like
awful.
hollowed out chocolate bar.
No, there's a
evil.
box of a candy called Pocky, and she gave me the box, and I was like, "Yay!" And it's empty.
That's abuse. You don't have to
So
take it.
they said that's abuse.
If
So
you are in a damaged relationship, you should seek out.
so
Where-
you grab the youngest or a young squire.
Yes. By its
Okay.
robe.
You grab a young squire by his robe, and it's a young lad of short blonde hair with he looks to be about 17 or so, and he keeps going until his robe won't let him go anymore, and he kind of jerks back with a and he looks around and goes, "Excuse me, how dare?"
Where can I find the mages who've put the beasts in the river?
The mage who put the, and he starts like waving his hands around. Of course, the mages with the an orc, and then he faints.
Good job, Cole.
Cole will let go of the robe.
Thanks, Cole.
He will go to the next mage down the line.
like opens his mouth and is about to like stop Call, and then basically in his mind he's like, let go. They're just let it go.
Yeah.
Okay. The closest mage to you is a woman. She looks like she's about in her 30s. She's got dark brown hair that's tied up in a bun. She's walking past you reading a book.
Cole will actually put an outstretched arm to try to stop her in her tracks.
She will bump into the arm and then go, "Oh, excuse me, sorry," and begin to, without even looking up from the book, start to walk around the arm.
I need your attention, mage.
You hear, "Mm-hmm, yes," and she's continuing to try and walk around your arm.
Cole's not happy. He's not a good. He does not like. He's gonna take the book out of her hands.
This is why Jarek knew that it was better for Cole to handle this situation.
Finn's just watching.
As is Pearson.
Okay, you take the book out of her hands. She looks up, sees you with the book, sniffs, and says, "Very well. How can I help you?"
Where can I find the mages who put the beasts in the river?
"Ah, yes, you'll want that tent over there," she says, pointing to her left, to a large purple tent.
The purple one.
Yes, the purple one.
Thank you. And you will hand back the book.
She will take the book and continue walking away reading.
And he will go towards the purple tent now. Waving
I will
at the
follow
group.
Finn follows.
Jarek like looks at everyone going. He looks down at Heinrich because he's still mounted. He says to Heinrich, "I ain't moving."
You enter the purple tent, and you find that it is very well set up inside. There are several stands that hold candles, many tables with all kinds of scrolls stretched out across it. There's another table with sorts of powders and spices and alchemy ingredients. And there are older wizards of all kinds sitting at different tables, poring over different scrolls. This tent is deathly quiet, though. No one is talking. Everyone is focused on their work.
Who here can tell me what we need to know about these beasts in the river? We would like to move along and in such river.
One of the wizards, a man who looks to be in about his 50s, has a long gray beard that's well kept, and is wearing long flowing royal purple robes. And I mean as in the color, not designation.
Okay.
And he stands up and he goes, "Ah, an orc. We don't see many of your kind this far down the line. Are the orcs attempting some sort of surprise raid or something? Very exciting."
Though I would enjoy seeing more tactics from that group, this is a small party business. This is quite important, and time is of the essence. Small talk will have to wait.
Ah, espionage. Yes, that's fantastic. I see. You want to swim down the river. And he makes like this like swimming motion with his hand.
I want it to be known I hate him.
Duly noted. I'm writing that in my GM notes.
Let's just say yes. We are going to be on top of and in the river.
Well, if you want to do that, you should do more than say. I suppose it would be possible to suspend the spells for a brief period of time. However, he kind of pauses and he does this little like thing while he's thinking. How long would you need the spell to be suspended for?
30 miles, river current. Not the best at estimating time, but I would say a good day.
A day? Hmm. That would be quite a strain, not to mention a day is plenty of time for the demons to start believing that there are no monsters in the pond anymore. Oh, I'm sorry. The river. What was I thinking? That would be dangerous. The river is our only supply line to the free lands. If they think that it is no longer guarded by the ghoulies, they might try to cut off that supply line.
Pearson pauses for a moment. Well, no, he doesn't pause for a moment. He hasn't been fucking talking. He interjects and he says, listen, I don't know much about this magic shit, but is there a way for you to enchant what we're going to be on as a way to deter these monsters instead, or to mask it as one of their own?
I'm afraid I don't know a
Don't
way
be
of...
afraid. I'm just asking.
Oh, no, boy. It's just a figure of speech.
Don't call me boy.
Oh, of course, boy. It would be impossible to do that. You see, these demons are quite crafty with magic themselves, so in order to counter any sort of magic they try to use against it, we specifically created the monsters to pretty much attack anything, despite whatever enchantments it has. It would take maybe the enchantments of Lady Selene herself. No, but we can suspend them. I'm just not sure if we can suspend them for a whole day.
Then half a day, Pearson says through gritted teeth.
Half a day. Half a day is doable. Half a day is definitely doable. I will speak to my fellows. We will suspend it in, say, 3 hours' time.
Unless you can get more y'all assembled sooner, then I guess we'll have to wait 3 hours.
Well, I mean, we can certainly suspend it sooner if you require. And then you hear, Ronston, are you planning on suspending the beast for these guys? Oh, yes. They're a small elite force on some espionage. Quite exciting. Have you verified that at all? What? Oh, for the love of Ronston, how do you know these people aren't just some spies or random people asking you to get rid of the monsters? They could be demons. Check their paperwork.
Sky, if you please.
Cole will hold his hand. I'm sick of these paperworks and trying to read through this. Minutes tick by and nothing is done. As he reaches into his pocket, We are the stone bearer, and we'll take out the stone.
There you go. There's our fucking ticket.
With that, Ronchin, the wizard, will look at that. His eyes will grow wide, and he will almost hiss at you, like putting a hand on yours and pushing down. Put that thing away. If you are who you say you are, do you have any idea there could be spies everywhere?
Indeed. Now hurry.